Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Welcome. So yesterday I had a little bit of a play time with some of my Thrinchies stencils. We had a little bit of a play. So I thought I would come in and we'd actually create some Thrinchies now, which is what I planned on doing in the first place. So I'm going to take the light bulb Thrinchies stencil. Now I did this in yesterday's video, but I'm going to do it again for this Thrinchie as well. So let's just take these out of the way. So let's bring in my die cutting machine. Can't make my mind up which way. And I've got my standard platform and my cutting. Let's have a clean one. Have I got one? Let's just grab a little bit of a cleaner cutting pad. And then I'm going to take this stencil, which I should have moved this out of the way. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Distress Oxide Salty Ocean. So let's add a bit of Salty Ocean. And then I'm going to add some Wilted Violet. And then I'm going to spritz the stencil with a little bit of Salvage Patina. So let's just a little bit of Salvage Patina, like so. You could mop that up. You can see the light bulbs through there. So I could have had a piece of card underneath and then I would have had another background. Let me just clean that up. You can if you wish. You see, I don't have to rush. I've got this on a stencil here. And then let's grab some water. We can just add some water to this and then we can just mop that up onto a 4x6 piece of card, because just look at the richness of that colour. Absolutely wonderful, absolutely gorgeous. Let's grab some kitchen roll because I like to work just in a dry area. There we go. I was going to say clean area, but I haven't cleaned up since yesterday, so it's not exactly clean, is it? So let's take my snippet stencil. I'm going to place my Thrinchie down onto the card, and I can faff and decide where I want to place it. Nice and sort of take my time. I don't have to rush that. I'm then going to take my silicone mat. You saw me do this in yesterday's video. I'm just going to place that down. And then I'm going to place I always forget what this is called. My impression pad. I can never remember what it's called. I think that's an age thing. Right, let's place this down. And then I have to go from this side because that's just me. And I've not got my plate straight. That's why you saw me and it just goes through so easily. It really does go through really easily. So we can then take our pieces off. So if we just take this off like so, you've probably got a bit of ink on your silicone mat, so just give that a little bit of a wipe because you don't want that colour on there. And then we'll just lift this up. Oh, it just works brilliantly. Doesn't it work beautifully? I love it. I absolutely love how that works. So lovely. It really is a lovely technique. And then I can just add this ink, any of the ink. I could add that to another piece of card, but I'm not going to, because I'll have you doing another marathon session as I normally do. But if you'd got another piece of card, you could quite easily wipe that ink and you'd end up with the light bulbs on another piece of card. But you know me, I could go on forever because that's just me all over. And the problem with me is when I come upstairs, I just want to play. I'm terrible. I just always want to play. I absolutely love these. I love how I've got that raised area. It's just wonderful. So I'm then going to take the barley blue, which I really do love that colour. And I'm going to take the magnolia stamp and just take the little bit of text on there. Let's take that text, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the text again to this one. I'm not adding it in every area, I'm just adding bits of that text. First generation, second generation and third generation, absolutely fine. And then let's just bend that one a little bit. I'm going to add the black. I'll just put it on my non-stick craft sheet. I've got some copy paper. So let's just do that properly. And we'll add our black edging. It just really sets everything off with the black faux matte. It really makes everything pop. Sometimes I go over a couple of times if it's not sort of strong enough in the colour. Again, you can do this first so that it's done and they're all dry and it's easier for you, but that just makes it pop a little bit more. It just makes it look more finished to me. So I'm then going to take the black again. You just need to get your pen going. I do like it when it's spritzed with a little bit of the Salvage Patina. Just lovely. What a beautiful, beautiful. And really, these are just beautiful in their own right. In a way, you could get away with just adding a little bit of text and nothing else. You know, like a word or something. They're so lovely in their own right. Let's just move this out of the way. I'm going to grab another piece of card. Let's move this out of the way. I'm going to take this. Look at this background where I just mopped up the colours. Oh, just love it. And I just mopped up a bit of colour. Just fantastic. So I'm just going to place the stencil now on here. Just going to move these two out of the way because I know what will happen. And I'm then going to take the Distress Oxide Spray Salvage Patina and then tighten the lid. And I'm just going to spritz through. I'll decide which one I want to use. I'm then going to take, that's it, just get that ball bearing going. And you can see my lid's not on properly because I'm a drip. There we go. So let's add some of that purple and let's just give that a clean because I've sort of shaken it and then my lid was not on properly. And you know why that is because I was playing yesterday and then I've walked away and I've just left it, which is not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to check your lids on. So I'll just give my hand a little bit of a wipe, because Tracy's now got it everywhere, including her trousers. I'm good like that. So just give that a little bit of a clean, and particularly if you've got some in the lid, just like me. There we go. So I've got that ink on there. You've also now got something else that you can play with, because you can get another piece of the cardstock. So if I take this up now, and I've got those light bulbs, I can use now as many or as few as I want. I can then pick this up, she says, and if I just add a little bit of water to the stencil, so I'm just going to add a little bit of water to the stencil, and then I'm just going to wipe a little bit around the edges. So just wipe around the edges, just a little bit around those edges, and you can see I'm not rushing, I'm just taking my time. So let's just pick this up now, and then we can place that onto our cardstock. The cardstock that you're using doesn't have to be the 4x6, it could be the Thrinchies, and then you can create more Thrinchies. So it's entirely up to you. So I'm just, as you can see, it soaks up some of that moisture because I've spritzed it with water. So we're just soaking some of that up and just giving it a little bit of time just to absorb onto that surface. So let's lift this up, and now you've got another background that you can actually play with. Isn't that just lovely? I'll probably create a card out of that because I think that is just gorgeous. So I've got another background. Let's grab another piece of card. So I'll grab another piece of card, and if I want this time, I can spritz the card with water. Just place the card down onto the stencil, and I can do it that way. And there may be something on there, there might not, but it's worth it because you get so many beautiful backgrounds. Let's lift this up. Oh yes, look at this. I've now got wonderful backgrounds that I can create another project with. I just love doing this. I absolutely love it when you get extra backgrounds, and you can then take another and still get another print because those oxide sprays are very concentrated, she says, as she wipes it back on the surface of the, but they're very concentrated, just wonderful. And I've got all those beautiful backgrounds I can work with. Just give your bottle a little bit of a wipe. Just make sure it's wiped, particularly if you've left it undone like I did and you're a bit of a drip. There we go, all nice and clean. So I've cleaned my bottles. Let's clean. You see, that's how it comes undone because I just loosened it. So just clean the lid. It's worth doing it. And just spending a few moments just to clean up after yourself. But let me show you this. Wouldn't that be a beautiful card just in its own right? But I love how you've got the different light bulbs, just wonderful. So let's give that a dry. Oh, we won't, we aren't plugged in. That's handy. So let's give this a little bit of a dry. But again, another card in its own right if I wanted to. I absolutely love this. And also you've got the other stencils that I've got, the bigger stencils, SS9 and SS8, that you can use these with. So you've got, where are we? There you go. You've got your bigger stencils that go perfectly with this. Just love it. Let's give this a little bit more of a dry. I'm going to cut these out anyway to go on my Thrinchies. But that could quite easily be a card. Just love it. So I'm going to take my little scissors, and then I can just decide which of the light bulbs I would like to have. So it's entirely up to you if you want to leave a little bit of a white border or you don't. I'm just leaving a little bit of one. Let's just go around. So I can cut these out, and then I can have a little bit of a play with the composition. And I just love that I've now got extra backgrounds, and it's like the starting point of another project, which just makes me happy, because then if you're stuck for inspiration, you've got something else that will help with that. Let's just take this so I can cut it out easy. Let's have one of these dark ones. There we go. Lovely. So I'll have one of them dark ones, and we'll have the dark one for this one as well. As you know by now, with the Thrinchies, we can't sort of have too much dimension, so we don't tend to use really big clumps of the pin flare or 3D foam pads, because you don't want it to be too bulky. So let's have this lovely mottled one here. There we go. That's it. Just beautiful. So we're just going to play around a little bit just with our pieces. So I can have a little bit, I love having a little bit, oh God, of a play, because obviously I am going to add some shading as well. So let's add this here like so. So I can adhere my light bulbs and then add a little bit of shading as well. So let's take the adhesive that I couldn't see then for staring. This will be interesting to see. I actually left this as well sort of out for ages because I didn't tidy away up after myself. Oh, I love it, and it still works. So I'm just sort of, I'm not going to press it down initially. I'm just going to be very gentle with the placement before I press anything down. So I can, the reason I'm doing that is I can still move my composition if I'm not quite happy with it. So I love that. I can just move the composition a little bit before I press that down. Let's add this here, like so, and I can just pick that up and add this just behind, because I've not sort of pressed that down. So let's just be mindful of that. Oh, I don't need to put that on. I'm going to add a little bit of shading, just around the light bulbs, just to give a little bit more depth. Let's just turn this around. So I'm going around with my ink tense pencil called Chinese ink. It's like a very dark grey. So I'm going around with my dark grey just on there. Let me just add. There we go. So I can then just grab my, look at these, I just love these. Look at these backgrounds. Just with the leftovers. Absolutely love them. And then the one where we just mopped up the colour. Oh, just lovely. Absolutely lovely. Let's grab my brush for some water. And we'll just, I was going to say I've always got kitchen roll. There is no kitchen roll here, so I need to pull some more. Let's just make sure that you can see exactly what I am doing. So let's just add a little bit more shading just around our light bulbs. Just a little bit. And when you do it, you'll see how the embossing is just wonderful. It really gives it some added sort of dimension. Let's bring this in so you can see what I am doing. A little bit more water. Just going around all of the light bulbs just to give a little bit of shading just around each one. There we go. Just give that a bit of a rinse. I'm just going to grab the Posca pen. I never know whether I've got the right. I've still got light bulbs I can use here. So I can just add a little, I mean, you're probably better using a white paint because it's going to show up a little bit more. Did I leave my white paint out? Probably not. Oh, you must have done, Tracy, because it's not here. So where have you put it? There it is. I told you I didn't tidy up, didn't I? So if you use a little bit of white paint, like I'm trying to do it sparingly, and that probably won't do anything. So pick up the white paint, and then I can add the white paint. Just take a little bit of that moisture off. Yeah, you see, let's just I've diluted this, so it's going to need a little bit more. You need a few layers. So if you just want to sort of add a few layers, it's entirely up to you. It's just a suggestion that that's there. We can still take our stencil and we can go, I'll show you, we can go over that when we've added our white splatters. I'm just cleaning my brush because the white is opaque, so I just want to make sure that my brush is not affected. But so that you can see, I'm going to add my white splatters at this stage because then I can add my other piece that I want to add. There we go. I'll just show you at the moment. Let's bring these in just so that you can see those. And it's funny when you put it in the book, oh, it just makes it. So I'm going to use my micron pen, my black micron pen, just to dangle my little light bulbs. Just so that they look like they're actually dangling from something, which is usually a good sign, don't you think? You can just see those, just works beautifully. And then, I'm always spoilt for choice. I'm going to take the Chevron stencil. So let's take the Chevron stencil. I thought I'd got the Chevron out, but I haven't, but there you go, not a problem. So let's grab another piece of 4x6 because I've got no spare card here, so this will be fine. And then I want something with the blue, so the rich salty ocean. Or do I want the, no, rich salty ocean. So we'll grab a blending brush. And I want, which size chevron do I want? Probably the small ones. Not that it matters, but I'm going to take the smaller chevron. Really smother that with ink. So lots of ink. So I just want the small, and again, I can use this on a project. I'll show you again. Let's just move that blending brush. I'm then going to take the little chevrons, and I love that they're slightly distressed, so not straight lines, because that's what I want. I want them slightly distressed. Take the chevron. And I like the fact that we can sort of create our own embellishments as well. Just works really nicely. And I've got all these light bulbs that will work with my other backgrounds as well, which I quite like. I'm then going to take the text again. So let's take the text from the Magnolia. And let's take a little bit of that purple. Now, let's decide where I'm going to put my chevron at the moment, because that takes me the longest amount of time before I actually decide where it's going. So you will go this side like so, or do I want you up there? No, I think I'm going to have, yes, I think I'm going to have it up there. Look through a camera sometimes, because it just gives you a whole different feel. I think, oh, It gives you a whole different feel to your project when you look through a camera. I think I'm going to put it there. So because I'm going to put it there, I'm going to use some Wilted Violet Distress Oxide ink, and I'm just going to add some text with the purple, and it really is a touch of text. It's hardly anything, just a little touch of that text on there, because these little touches matter, don't they? Of course they do. So I'm just going to add this here, and you know that I'm going to want to put some shading on that as well. So let's just place this here, like so. Don't worry about the shading when that's just, you know, it's set a little bit. I'm going to put that there. Yep. So again, a little bit more of the Distress Oxide Wilted Violet. Let's add a little bit of the text, and then give that stamp a little bit of a clean with using the oxide. You don't want to leave that oxide on there, just so that it doesn't affect your VersaFine Clair when you come to use it. So let's just add this here, like so. That. There we go. And then I'll come in and I'm just going to add a little bit of shading around the chevron. So add that bit of shading around your chevron, like so. And let's take our paintbrush again, which I actually kept in the right place for once, rather than moving it. Just make sure, and I can still see the white in that, but hopefully just for this small area it should be okay. So just blend that out, just to give that a little bit more definition. And it really works. I will lift this up for you just so that you can see. There we go. And then I want them chevrons to be a part of the project. So I'm just going to add some splatters just so that they are a part of that project. And then I'm just going to give that a dry, just so that they don't react too much with the Posca pen and the oxides. Let's just try and dry it a little bit. And then I'm just going to take 20, is it 20? These go, yeah. I'm going to take 24 or 25 because they've got some really good words on there. What's 25 got? Just so I know. Live in the mountain. Yeah, it's 24 I'm going to use. So let's take 24 and I'm going to use the word original. Again, I could use the chevron in a project. So I'll take that word original. I've not got a black ink pad. Not that you could get much more out of it. Let's move this blending brush. That's one thing out the way. So we'll take that a word original from TE24. We'll cut this out. I love these words on the TE24. just making it so that I haven't got too much card. I'm just going to have the word original here. So take my adhesive and add the word original. Again, you need to give that just a few seconds just to grab hold. I'm going to clean the end of there, and that's got original. So then I want the acrylic block, which you've just dumped somewhere, Tracy. Let's place that word original, and then the other word artistic. I love when I've got a choice of wording. So just add the word artistic. I could already see that wasn't very straight because Tracy didn't put it on there straight. And I have to sort it out or else it plays with my head. Artistic. I went to a plant fair this morning. Any excuse, I say. Well, it was an unexpected plant fair because it was at Chumley and I didn't know until the last minute. And then Ian said, yeah, go on, then I'll take you. So, of course, I did buy a plant or two, or maybe three. So, let's just... And then I come home and then I realise I've got no compost. Honestly, you can't make it up. So let's bring this in and bring the word artistic. Let's add that up here. And what you'll see is the actual words that I've used give balance to the chevrons. So I'm just twisting that a bit, and then let's give a little bit of shading under the word. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's fine. So just add a little bit of shading under there. Just blend that out, just to give that a little bit of shading under the word. And then what we'll do is we'll then add them to our book. So let's bring in my book that I've added all the numbers. So we are on 33 and 34. So we'll add 33 here. And it really does make it when you place it in the book. So place 33 there. And you can see I'm just holding that down a little bit, mainly because obviously, because I added so much moisture, etc., it's going to try and fight against me a little bit. So I'm just giving that a little bit of time just to adhere onto there. What number did I say? Oh, look at this. Look, I've missed a page. You can't make it up, can you? So Tracy will have to change her numbers because I'm not concentrating. Too busy looking at this. So what Tracy will have to do is add some Thrinchies in between. As you can see, 31, 32. I now need 33 and 34. So these will have to be 35 and 36. There you go. But you can put them in your book however you wish. But because Tracy's missed a page, mind you, I could write something in here or stick the pages together. We'll stick the pages together and nobody will ever know. It's between me and you. Nobody will know. It's just between me and you. You didn't see that. No, of course you didn't. Let's just stick them pages together. And we go, oh, nothing happened there, look. Nothing happened. Let's stick them together. There you go. And now it's 33 and 34. There you go. So this is Thrinchie 33 and 34. And believe it or not, actually somewhere under here, I've got the numbers, which is from the numerical cats. 30, what did I say? 33. Oh, I'd be dangerous, I am. 33. Just there. Press them down. And 34. Oh, that I've dropped on the floor. There's the 4. Shall we put bets on whether I can find the 3? Shall we? There seriously was one here. Let's lift. It's not under there where you'd expect it to be. And you know, I was super organised and said, oh, I've got numbers and everything. And now I can't find them. Oh, I do frustrate myself. And I know what you're all saying. Well, just stamp another one, Tracy. No, because I had it here. How can it disappear? Oh, flipping heck. Right, so we need another 3. So let's place this back so that we've not got this out. Place that back. Do you know, if I haven't got a video, if I'm not recording, I can find everything straight away. If I'm recording, I can't find a thing. Every single time. I can't find a thing if I'm recording, like the bits of plastic or something like that. But the minute that camera stops, I can find everything. You couldn't make it up. Honestly, you couldn't make it up. So I'm just going to lift this one more time. No, I've not got the number in there. So we're going to stamp a number. How frustrating when I've been super organised. Mind you, I did do 3 lots of videos, didn't I? So I've still got numerical cats out anyway. So let's grab the number 3 and a little acrylic block so that we can stamp our number and we can have them numbered. And if I'm not careful, I'll lose the 4 as well at the rate I'm going. So we'll just add that there. Let's add our number 3. Little cats are coming off, bless them. Let's place you back on there and you back on there. My little punch is still out. It proves that I've got the numbers ready because I've still got my little punch here. That I can never get the edge bang on right anyway. So shall we try again? So 33 and 34. So let's put 34. Like so. But it's funny because when you look at them in the book, it just makes them because you can see all the embossing as well. I just love it. And now I'm just going to see which way are you facing. That way. I'm going to place my little cat there. Take the little cat and my Nocturne ink. Tracy always has to push it a little bit, you know. But that's me all over. I'm just going to add my little cat here. And I'm just allowing that just to rest on there for a few moments longer, just to make sure that we get a good impression on there. There we go. Got our little cat on there. And then I can because I pushed everything off, you can see that I've pushed my little pencil off there. Let's just give the little cat a little bit of grounding. There might be enough moisture on there just to give that little cat a little bit of grounding. Just lovely. And you see, you wouldn't know no difference that I've stuck 2 pages together. So you've got 31, 32. Now we've got 33 and 34. But you've also still got those light bulbs that you can use with these, maybe along with the bigger light bulbs. You've also got this background that you created, and you could quite easily, where's the stencil? Move this out the way, move them out the way. We could quite easily take the stencil that's got this ink on, spritz a bit of the selvage patina, a little bit, see, that's how I'm undoing it, a little bit of the, can't say it, a little bit of water, and then I'm just going to take my kitchen roll, just wipe the edge a little bit, just so it's a little bit more random. There we go. I can then just place this on here and use my kitchen roll just to blot up the excess. So it's just the way, this is the way you can make backgrounds, and they're just, because they're quite random, it's not what you were expecting. You can really end up with some striking results that you weren't least expecting. There you go, just lovely. And I've still got something on there, so let's have this down here. There's still a little bit of ink on there, so it seems a real shame just to not use that. So just cleaning the stencil, you've even got ink there you can use, so cleaning the stencil can give you some unexpected results, as long as you are prepared to play. It really can give you some unexpected results. You could put a large light bulb on there and then use some of the smaller light bulbs. So there are always some unexpected results. So there we go. There's snippet, not snippet. There is Thrinchie 33 and 34. So love to all, and I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.